Hello. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's Sorayne Lios, the Sentient Aurora VTuber. I'm streaming at a time that's usually a bit earlier for me, but that's okay. I just had the weekend off, so I've got nothing to do today. So technically I could stream all day if I wanted to, but I'm probably not going to do that. I don't have the stamina or the vocal cords for that sort of thing. So today, we're going to be looking at WaniKani and Bunpro? Not sure how to pronounce it, sorry. These are two great Japanese resources that have been highly recommended throughout the Japanese learning community. Both of them have their own different strengths, so WaniKani is typically used more for like spaced repetition, but also specifically more for learning kanji. So it uses mnemonics. So like it gives each kanji or each radical or whatever a story on how you can remember them. And it's got its own, like, the people who made this also have like a website and a blog and resources and stuff like that. I think that it's originally Tofugu, I think, are the team behind WaniKani. And WaniKani is highly recommended by a lot of people for learning kanji. And it's just something that you have to stick with. Like with any resource that you use, you just have to stick with it and eventually you'll learn something. So we'll be doing a bit of WaniKani today, and we'll also be doing some Bunpro today. So you can see here, I've got like accounts for both of them. Right now I'm still in the free version of the accounts. I'm not actually sure if I can show you any premium content or anything like that, if it's like under copyright or whatever. So I'll only be showing you kind of the basics in the free version for the time being. For WaniKani, I believe it's up to level 4 until you have to like start paying for it. And the prices are pretty reasonable. I would say if it's something that you really want to stick with. But I would also recommend that as a beginner, you just try out a bit of everything and see what works for you for the week of trial or the month of trial or whatever. For WaniKani, it's level 4, but I think for Bunpro, like, it's actually a time limit, so I reckon they give you like a month or so, and then after that month is up, then you have to start paying for it. So the features on this are a little bit more, I won't say comprehensive, but like it lets you do more, I would say. Whereas WaniKani is very much like you have lessons, you have reviews, that's it. But also part of it is because it's meant to be spaced repetition, so it's not meant to cram a bunch of things down your throat at the same time. You know, it's paced in a way where once you learn the old stuff, then you can look at the new stuff. So I've been doing both of them for a couple of days now. Missed out on Christmas though, because I was very, very busy on Christmas the whole day. So I've gotten to the part where I think I've started kanji. So I've done the radicals for WaniKani. So you can see I've done some of the radicals here, and like I've fully learnt, or at least according to WaniKani, I fully learnt these radicals here. Another thing to note about WaniKani is that some of the radicals aren't actually real. They're just, they're named differently, or they're just not like an actual radical that you would find in a Japanese dictionary, which is absolutely fine. Like, as long as you can remember the kanji in the end, I think that's the point. But that's also something to note. The way that I've written my notes for this, for each one, is I've written what the actual radical is, like in a dictionary, if I were to look it up in a dictionary, just in case. So right now we'll start on WaniKani. So I've got some lessons here, and we'll get started. I'll stop yapping now. One, radical. Radical composition. The kanji is composed of one radical. Can you see where the radicals fit in the kanji? So this is the WaniKani radical used for ground. That's how they're telling you to remember it. So basically 1 is ground. So meaning mnemonic. Lying on the ground is something that looks like the ground, the number 1. Why is this 1 lying down? It's been shot by the number 2. It's lying there, bleeding out and dying. The number 1 doesn't have long to live. Hint. To remember the meaning of 1, imagine yourself there at the scene of the crime. You grab 1 in your arms, trying to prop it up, trying to hear its last words. Instead, it just splatters some blood on your face. Who did this to you? You ask. The number 1 points weakly, and you see number 2 running off into the alleyway. He's always been jealous of number 1 and knows he can be number 1 now that he's taken the real number 1 out. So you can add some meaning notes here, so you can add your own notes, just whatever. In the radical section, I've put in the real meanings of each radical, or if it's not an actual radical, and for user synonyms, you can add a synonym there too. So basically, this one means 1. Readings, onyomi, ichi, itsu. Reading mnemonic. As you're reading there next to 1, holding him up, you start feeling a weird sensation all over your skin. From the wound comes a fine powder, obviously coming from the special bullet used to kill 1, that causes the person it touches to get extremely itchy. Itchy. Make sure you feel the ridiculously itchy sensation covering your body. It climbs from your hands where you're holding the number 1 up, and then goes through your arms, crawls up your neck, goes down your body, and then covers everything. It becomes uncontrollable, and you're scratching everywhere, writhing on the ground. It's so itchy that the most painful thing you've ever experienced. You should imagine this vividly, so you remember the reading of this kanji. So, 1, you can see the readings here, ichi and itsu. You would have to learn the hiragana first if you wanted to be able to read these characters. But basically, this is how you would read. So it means the number 1, so that's the meaning, and then the reading would be ichi. And vocabulary examples. Here is a glimpse of some of the vocabulary you will be learning in the future that utilize the kanji. So that's 1, one thing, and alone. So that's ichi. I'm not sure if that's itsu or ichisu, but I'll learn that one eventually. And then alone is like 1 person. So, oh wait. Oh, if you hover over it, it tells you, I think. So that's hitori. And that's hitotsu. Oh, hitotsu. Yeah, that makes sense actually. And that's ichi. Cool. A ground. Radical. So you can also see that they've highlighted the mnemonics and stuff like that. I honestly didn't really pay attention to the highlighted bits because I've just been doing them. I did radicals event. At the start, they make you do radicals first before they make you do kanji. So radicals are blue, and it looks like kanjis are in pink, magenta. It's definitely a dark kind of vivid pink. It's a very pretty color. It kind of reminds me of the Pantone color of the year, but like 2023. Yeah, the color of the year for 2024 is peach fuzz. It's like this light peachy kind of color. And then for 2025, it's this chocolatey brown mocha mousse color or something. I forgot. But it's a brown color for 2025. All right. Next. So you can go forward and backwards with these arrows here. You can go back home. Think, is that radicals? Yeah, number of remaining radicals 0, number of remaining kanji, and number of remaining vocabulary. Okay, 2. Radical composition. This kanji is composed of 1 radical. Can you see where the radicals fit in the kanji? 2. So the radical for 2 is used for the kanji for 2. This means what it is. Does ground mean that? I have to look up my notes again. But yeah, the radical for 2 and the kanji for 2, pretty straightforward. You also have to remember that I think the first stroke is smaller than the second stroke. Meaning mnemonic. The kanji 2 and the radical 2 are the exact same things, therefore you know the kanji for 2 already. Hint. More simply put, you can just know that this kanji is the double of 1. It's 2 lines. That's not all that hard to remember. Meaning notes, you can add notes here and you can add synonyms here. Readings, onyomi. Ni. Reading mnemonic. How do you count to 2? Just use someone's ni, and then their other knee. There, 2 knees. I mean, maybe, but if they're a pirate or they don't have a second knee, that wouldn't work. But for the majority of people, I guess they would have 2 knees. Imagine asking to borrow the 2 knees of a stranger in the street, just so you can count to 2. They're confused at first, but then they present each knee to you in a loving sort of way. Yep, that's 2 knees, alright. These stories are weird, man. I don't know how well I do with mnemonics, to be honest. Mnemonic. Have I been pronouncing it wrong this whole time? Wait. Hold on. I'm not stupid, right? English is my native language. I shouldn't.
Mnemonic.
Is the sound not coming out? Wait.
Mnemonic.
Everything is plugged in, so I should be able to hear it.
Mnemonic.
Oh. Whoops, that was really loud for you guys, I'm sorry.
Mnemonic.
Okay. I guess I can't hear it then. Whatever. Wait, if I just change this, there's a property. Advanced properties, filters. Okay, it's not worth trying to learn this. Is it? Oh god. Am I just born stupid? I mean, yes, but kind of fucking tangent is this? Why am I like this as a person? I'm so sorry. Mnemonic. Okay. I just looked it up on my phone. Oh god, okay. So is it actually that loud for you guys? Brace yourself.
Mnemonic.
It looks like it breaks the fucking sound barrier. Wait.
Mnemonic.
I probably should have adjusted this before I started stream, to be honest. Why is it that loud? It has no right being as loud as it is. Anyway. Mnemonic. Fine, I guess. Vocabulary examples. Here's a glimpse of some of the vocabulary you'll be using in the future that utilize the kanji. 2, so ni, 2 things. Futatsu. And then 2 people. Futari. So it's hitori and hitotsu for 1 thing, and then it's futatsu and futari for 2 things and 2 people. Cool. 7. Radical composition. The kanji is composed of 1 radical. Can you see where the radicals fit in the kanji? So the radical for 7 is the same as the kanji for 7. Note that this radical isn't actually a real radical. This is just a WaniKani radical that they teach you. Meaning mnemonic. Lucky for you, as is the case with many of the lower stroke kanji, This kanji is the same as the radical you've already learned. The radical that makes up this kanji is 7, and the kanji, which is exactly the same, is also 7. So if you know the radical, you know the meaning of the kanji as well. Hint, make sure you know your radicals well and you'll be a-okay on this one. Meaning notes uses synonyms. Readings, onyomi, shichi. So 7 can be read as nana or shichi, but it looks like here they're using shichi. Reading mnemonic. You know this kanji means 7, so let's use that to remember the reading too. 7 is a lucky number, usually, but this time it wasn't so good. 7% is all she got on her test after she cheated. Shichi on it. Okay, well, that sounds like a you problem. Either study for the test properly or cheat properly. Hint, how unbelievable is it that someone got 7% on the test, especially if you try to cheat? Imagine the girl you loathe the most from school and imagine her cheating on the test. It's important it's a girl because of the she part in she cheated. Shichi. Then imagine your happiness when she's super upset about getting 7% on it. Serves her right, obviously. You say that, but like, there are people who are really dumb at school. I mean, cheating or not cheating, like, 7% is not out of the, spectrum of reality. I know a guy back in university who got like 4% as a unit average. Now, mind you, he was doing engineering, so engineering as a subject and as a major is incredibly difficult, I'm sure. But 4% is crazy, and I don't understand how or why. They obviously got, I don't know what their parents thought about that at the time, but that's their problem to deal with, not mine. My grades weren't super great, but I mean, I've never gotten 4% before. God damn. Never got 7% either. I think I've at least passed everything, C's get degrees and all that. Readings, blah blah blah. So she cheated. That's the main thing here, I guess. And you can see it's highlighted here. The reading for it, or the rough English equivalent of how you would pronounce this, is she cheated, shichi. And that's highlighted in black and white here. Vocabulary examples. Here's a glimpse of some of the vocabulary you'll be learning in the future that utilize the kanji. 7. So, nana. Hang on. They're using shichi here, but then 7 here? Oh, wait, as in the different reading for it, maybe? So 7 things and 7th day. 7 things. Nanatsu. Yeah, nanatsu. And 7th day. So, tsu seems to be a thing, suffix? Or it's attached to a kanji to mean thing. And then day. That's the kanji for day or sun. Nanoka. Nanoka, yeah, I think. So, nanatsu is 7 things, and nanoka is 7th day. Person. Radical composition. The kanji is composed of one radical. Can you see where the radicals fit in the kanji? Person. So I think this is the actual radical as well for person. Meaning mnemonic. Remember how the radical version of this kanji meant person because it's a person walking from the side with their arms down? Well, this is a person too. Know the radicals and you shall know the kanji. Meaning notes and user synonyms. So for 2, 7 and person, it looks like it's the same. Readings, onyomi. Nin? Jin. Nin, Jin, I think. Nintendo and jeans. Jean? Reading mnemonic. Only one person at Nintendo, Nintendo, complained about the new jeans policy. Jeans policy, policy and that person was you. Imagine how angry you were about the policy. You'll have to come up with something to be angry about yourself. Pick something that would actually make you angry, like you're only allowed to wear cut off short shorts jeans at Nintendo now. Why would that be upsetting? Actually, that is very against corporate attire. So honestly, I wouldn't mind that. Corporate is very stuffy. You have to wear like coats and blazers and stuff like that. If you're doing formal things like interviews or external meetings with clients. Luckily, I don't have to dress that strictly, but short shorts are definitely unacceptable in a workplace environment. So I don't understand why anyone would be upset at that. Oh, actually, some Karens probably would be. But if you pick something good, you'll definitely remember the 2 readings of this. Just remember you're working at Nintendo. My uncle works at Nintendo. Just remember that you're working at Nintendo and the policy has to be something about jeans. Was it uncle or father? I don't remember the joke. It was just someone works at Nintendo and they can get you like cool stuff or something. It's a reference to something else. Again, I don't remember. Working at Nintendo and the policy has to be about jeans. Then imagine yourself as the only person complaining and everyone else in their dumb jeans or lack thereof shaking their head at you because you're being a fool. Yeah. You damn fool. God damn it, me. Why do you have to be such a dick? Vocabulary examples. Here's a glimpse of some of the vocabulary you'll be learning in the future that utilize the kanji person, hito, 2 people, futari, and alone. Hitori. Hitori, yeah. Futari, hitori, hitotsu, futatsu. Enter. Radical composition. The kanji is composed of 1 radical. Can you see where the radicals fit in the kanji? Enter. So enter, enter, enter. Yep. Meaning mnemonic. The kanji and the radical are the same. So remembering the meaning of this kanji is as simple as making sure you know the radical for enter first. If you know the radical, you know this kanji means enter as well. Make sure you know those radicals, yo. Are they trying to be hip and cool with the kids by adding yo at the end? Desu yo. Mata ne. Make sure you know those radicals, ne. Meaning notes and uses synonyms, readings onyomi. Ni yo. Wait, what? That's a half one. So that's new, maybe? That's confusing. Reading mnemonic. Turns out after you enter the TP, you'll remember that the radical is a TP with a big entrance on it. You're given a new... Yeah, okay, that's how you read it. So you're given a new one. Now you have 2 TPs. Imagine lights turning on and flashing and an entire audience inside. You're at a game show and the announcer announces the new TP in his announcy voice. Feel the surprise, feel the happiness, feel the excitement. A brand new TP all for you. I can kind of see it. New. Yeah, so when it's a half kana thing, you drop the I and then you add you. So it's not ni, you, it's new and just a long sound. I have to listen to this one because this is a bit confusing, but it's good that at least I can read it, kind of. Vocabulary examples. To enter, to insert, entrance. So, Haioru. I remember Ru because it reminds me of a kangaroo with its tail curled. Just a hint, if you guys mix up Ro and Ru, that's how I remember this one as Ru, and then the other one is Ro. Haioru. To insert. Ireru. Oh god, that's confusing. Ireru. iri, iriguchi. Iriguchi. Yes. That's gu. Yeah, okay. Also, I might get these wrong. I'm still learning. I can kind of read kana and katakana. I'm not an expert by any means, and there are lots of words that I still don't know. So take any readings or any things that I do with a grain of salt because I'm stupid. Oh. Huh? Kanji reading? Hey, what? Is that what they mean by reading? Like that's how you read it? Shichi. Okay. That's confusing. Kanji reading. Kanji reading. Ichi. Do you know that this item has multiple possible readings? Ichi and itsu. Yeah, right. So it tells you. Kana chart. Okay, so you can use the kana if you wanted to. I've just been using Romaji. So the kanji reading. Enter. Ah, this is the confusing one. It's like it's oh god, how do I okay, wait. Ni it's new TP. I hate the fact that that shit works on me. I am but a humble human. Ni okay, ni and then small? Where are the small ones? Oh, no, I don't want the full one though. I want the small one. God damn it. How do I... Oh, wait. If I do... Wait. Okay. New and then u. That's how you read it, right? Yeah. Kanji meaning. Kanji reading. Hito. Oh wait, no, that's human. It's not hito. It's nin. Nin. It's Nintendo. So it's ni here, ni, and then n. Raro. Nin. Nintendo. And then the other one would be Jin. Jean. Kanji meaning. And then the kanji meaning. And then this one is to enter. Good job. The items you have just finished quizzing have been moved to your review queue. What would you like to do now? Return to the dashboard. So I'll do these lessons in a second, but just showing you a little bit more of the website. So you can see, if you guys want to, you can get the lifetime plan off, but I would recommend at least giving it a try first before you buy the lifetime plan or subscribe to anything, just because it does pile up, especially if you're going to be doing multiple like websites and multiple like resources, books, that kind of thing all at once. If you get help, complete level 1 to rid yourself of this banner. Start getting I'm still on level 1. I don't know how to increase that. But levels. So level 1, level 2. This is all locked, but you can still see what it looks like, and you can still click on it and stuff. So I don't think you can learn it. Oh, actually no. Sorry. I don't think you can add them to lessons when they're locked, but you can still look at it like here, basically. So you can see that they've done it in levels. So 1 to 60. I think this is the levels that you actually gain XP at. So currently I'm still on level 1, which is all this stuff. And so there's stuff... so this is all locked, and I think I have to unlock them through lessons and stuff like that. So you can see above, below, big, construction, 8, enter, mountain, mouth, 9, 1, person, power, river, 7, 10, 3, 2, woman. No. Nyo. New. Okay, new, locked, active, burnt. Oh, burnt I think is when you don't want it to appear. I think there's a thing that you can select for that, but I'm not sure. Active is when you actually want it to appear in your reviews and stuff like that. So the once a year WaniKani sale, radicals. So I've learnt all of these radicals over the last couple of days. Like I mentioned before, some of these radicals aren't real. So you can see here on mine, so Barb, I'll just go through each of them. Barb, user synonyms, mnemonic. This radical is shaped like a barb, like the kind you'd see on barbed wire. Imagine one of these things getting stuck to your arm or your clothes. Think about how much it would hurt with that little hook on the end sticking into you. Say out loud, oh dang, I got a barb stuck in me. And then I've written a note here that says the actual radical meaning. So if you were to look it up in a dictionary or something like that, it technically doesn't mean barb, it means hook or line with a hook. So that was from a dictionary meaning. So your progression, answered correct, unlock date, so a couple of days ago, and found in these different kanji. So talent, finish, conflict, congratulate looks like a very hard kanji. I think the most difficult kanji I saw, I was on, was it Reddit or something maybe? And someone drew a 63 stroke kanji. I think it was 60 something stroke kanji, which was insane. Because who does that? Why do you need to do that? So let's see. Bob, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. These are all the radicals, by the way. They're all highlighted or coloured in blue, as you can see. So Bob, big. Name, big. This radical looks like just a big figure. More specifically, a really big guy with his arms stretched out nice and big. When you see this radical, just think big because this guy is really big. And then the actual radical meaning is actually like big, large, and very. So yeah, it's correct. It's this is big and it means big, so construction. You know those big steel girders that are used for the frame of big buildings? This is like the end of one of those and has a very distinct shape, just like this radical. These girders are used in construction, which is why this radical means construction. Funny thing is, you use these girders to put together buildings, just like you're going to use this radical to put together kanji. So the actual radical meaning is work, skill, or carpenter. So it's construction adjacent, but it just doesn't explicitly mean construction. So cross. This radical looks like a cross. I mean, just look at it. 2 bars going through each other equals a cross. Actual radical meaning 10 or complete. So this is used for 10, which is due. Yeah. Drop. This little radical is a drop of water or some other liquid. Notice how it's only 1 drop. Some radicals of kanji will have more than 1 drop, so it's important that you know how to tell them apart. So drop of water, but the actual radical meaning is a dot. So you can see it's used a lot in like these dots here, dot there, dot in the enclosed thing. Progression, cool. Enter. So we had enter before, where the radical was the same as kanji. Enter. Watch out. This isn't the person radical, it's something else. What's the difference? The right side is longer than the left side, and on computers it usually has that extra part sticking out on the top. It kind of looks like a flap opening to a teepee. And what do you do with an opening? You enter it. That's why this radical is enter. So the actual radical meaning is enter or to enter. So it means the same, like it's that radical is correct, I guess. So enter, into, or long time. So enter, we just learnt, was new. So you pronounce it as new. And it's the same as, what do you call it? Like you get a new teepee. Fins. This is a bit of a weird one to me. Those don't look like fins to me. Those look like legs. Or, I don't know. Why am I freaking out? Stop freaking out. Also, my eyes aren't closed. But I guess I'm in Zen right now. You good? Okay. No, I'm panicking and freaking out and like super anxious, apparently. I don't know. Fins. Yeah, this one is weird to me because they don't look like fins, but I just remember them as fins. Picture a fish. Now picture a fish a little worse, like a child's drawing of a fish. Now erase the fish's body and you're left with 2 fins. Do you see the 2 fins? No, I don't. But anyway, the actual radical meaning is 8 or divide. So, fins, 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 fins. I can kind of see it. It looks a little bit different in each one though. And it looks like it's on the bottom for a lot of these. Yeah, anyway, cool. Ground. So, ground, this radical consists of a single horizontal stroke. What's the biggest single horizontal stroke? That's the ground. Look at the ground, look at this radical. Now look at the ground again. Kind of the same, right? Actual radical meaning is 1 or horizontal stroke. So it got the horizontal stroke bit right, but it doesn't mean ground. Well, the actual radical doesn't mean ground. Gun. Pew pew. Gun. Gun. This looks a lot like a long gun pointing to the right. You have a shoulder rest on the left and a barrel on the right. Imagine it hanging on a case, in a case on the wall in a museum. This isn't a real radical that you would find in a dictionary. The closest looking radical is that one, which means cover or crown. But basically like this, as a WaniKani radical, is not a real radical that you would find in a dictionary. So I've just made a note on that. Lid. Lid. This looks like something you put on a kettle or pot, right? It even has a little handle to make sure you don't burn yourself. This is some kind of lid. Actual radical meaning, lid or top. I think this is Yama, but I'm not sure. Mountain. This is a mountain. You'll have to add the lines that make up the top of a mountain if you want it more mountain-like. Also something that might help. Sometimes mountains have a couple of smaller peaks coming out the side of the main peak too. Connect the dots and create the mountain in your mind. Note, actual radical meaning is mountain. Oh yeah, basically, the actual meaning is mountain, the mnemonic they use is mountain, and then I think the kanji is mountain as well. Oh, it's not Yama, it's, what is that one? Chin? Chin? Damn. Mouth. A big gaping square hole represents someone opening their giant mouth to tell you something stupid. Actual radical meaning, mouth or opening. Now, this one is very confusing because this by itself is fine, but there's another kanji, or potentially radical, but I think it's a kanji, that looks exactly the same, but is slightly bigger. So there's mouth and there's enclosure. The only way to tell the difference between them is the fact that mouth is like slightly smaller and enclosure is bigger. I don't know if they've got enclosure in this, but I think they mean different things. Unless they're the same and I'm just stupid, but I just remember that being a confusing thing I learned about. 9. If you look at this radical in just the right way, you'll notice that it kind of looks like the letters N and I. The I comes from the little flippy up stroke on the right side. Huh? The flippy up stroke. So like N-I. what are the flippy stroke on the right side, what do the letters N and I start spelling? Why the word 9? Not a radical, the closest radical means desk or table. So this by itself is not a radical. There's another radical that's kind of similar in the strokes and stuff, but it's not the same. 9 is just 9. Person. If you were to draw a person with just strokes as you see in kanji, it might look something like this. You'd create a stick figure, maybe something like this, but this is just a person, not someone holding out their arms to show how big they are. So their arms are down, which makes them look like a torso with a pair of legs. Maybe they're walking too, which is why their legs are spread out like that. You can see the person now, can't you? Don't tell me what to do. Actual radical meaning, person or human? Person, nin. Inside, from, inside. Decide, graduate. Power. Imagine a guy flexing his arm downward to show off his stereo pumped arm. It's huge, it's so full of power. Rawr. That's not really a power cry. That sounds like an emo in pain. Actual radical meaning, power or force? Yep, so power is ryoku? Wait, ryoku. I think this is new. I don't think I've learned this one yet. So, ryoku. This looks like an enclosure of sorts, that's why it's a prison. It wraps itself around things and locks them in there. Prisons are pretty scary, even before you imagine one slowly floating from the sky to trap you. Actual radical meaning, to wrap or to embrace. Yeah, to wrap or to embrace. So that's different from prison. River. Yeah, this one is straightforward. This radical already looks like a river. See the banks of the river on the side and the flow of the river in the middle? There's even a slight turn in the river too. So when you see this radical, you should think river. So river is kawa. What does this radical look like? Nothing much. What if you turn it upside down? Now it looks like a 7 with a line through it. Close enough to help you remember that this radical is 7, right? Just remember when you see this radical, flip it over and see what number it looks like. If you can do that, you can remember the meaning. So 7 and 9, the radicals that you learn in WaniKani, they are not real radicals. They're just used for the purposes of learning. The closest radical to this one means spoon. Close your eyes and imagine you're a kid again. Now open them and look, it's a slide. Imagine little you sliding down the slide over and over, having a great time. Imagination plus emotion makes for great memorization. Now, buddy, I don't think you've ever been on one of those metal slides. That is not a good time. Metal slide in the sun from a hot summer, going down it, burns you. I don't think it actually burns you, but it feels like you're being burned. That is not a fun time. Little me, kid me, would not want to go through that multiple times over and over again. That just sounds painful. When I think of slides, I think of metal slides because that was what my playground has at it as a kid. So no, I would not do that. The plastic ones that they have nowadays, probably fine. I don't think they retain heat that much. And they're probably safer too because they're plastic. But yeah, no. Imagination plus emotion makes for good memorization. That is true though. In terms of memory and stuff like that, people tend to remember things that give them an emotional response, a strong emotional response. Actually, people in general tend to remember bad things more than good things because bad things have more of a response to them. So generally humans tend to be risk averse or like consequence averse. So they would either go the neutral path or the positive path rather than go for something negative. And when something negative happens, whether it's consequences of their own actions or something outside of their control, and it's really, really bad, they tend to remember that more because it has more feelings of... People are affected more so by bad feelings than by good feelings. You're more likely to remember like a really, really embarrassing moment in primary school, like cringe, something like that, some dumb shit you've done in your teenage years. You're much more likely to remember that than like, oh, I got like an A on a test. That's great, that's happy, that's a good thing, but that doesn't elicit a visceral reaction that makes you want to, you know, punch the former you. A visceral reaction makes for very good memorization. However, you're more likely to not remember the little details of what happened, just the feeling of what happened at the time and the cringe that you felt at the time. There's a psychological term for it, I forget. I did psychology ages ago, I don't remember. Note, actual radical meaning is bent line or bend. So it's not a slide, it's to bend something. Oh, sorry, bent line. This is a stick sticking out of the ground. It looks like a stick. Actual meaning, stick. Yeah, so stick is just a line going straight down. It's a stick. What's brown and sticky? A stick. Even since there are no circles in Japanese characters, sometimes rectangles or squares will have to make do. In this case, this big rectangle is the sun. The middle line going through the center horizontally is the equator. What? Does the sun have an equator? Or maybe it's a cloud moving across the sun. Picture it, but don't actually look at the sun and burn your eyes. Fun fact, I actually did as a kid. I've got sunspots in my eyes that are permanent, like... Because I was a dumb kid and I looked at the sun, so I've got, like, sunspots in my eyes now. It's not, like, it didn't do anything to my eyesight, thankfully. My parents found me and they're like, what the hell are you doing? Get out of the sun. It's like, oh, but the sun is so pretty. He's like, no, you can't look at that. I was like, oh, shit. Damn. That sucks, man. Yeah. Actual radical meaning, Sunday. Sunday. Fun. Toe. This radical looks like the katakana character to, which sounds like the word toe. To, to, yeah. Which sounds like the word toe. So when you see this, think toe. But the actual radical meaning is definition. Divination. Above, below, outside, hangs, by, table. Yep, so that is used quite a bit. Do you see the tree in there? It has branches and then it has the foliage coming down diagonally from it, spreading out like a tree would. That's why this radical is a tree. And their actual radical meaning is also tree. 1 + 1, 2. This radical looks like a wide person made up of 2 stacked X's. Women generally have 2 X's for chromosomes, and back in the day they were praised for their wide childbearing hips. We may not think of women this way anymore, but way back when Japanese was made, this made them think of a woman, and the actual radical meaning is woman or female. So woman is jyo, I think, yep. Jyo. Oh, and that's it. Rightio. So, I will start learning the new stuff then. Today's lessons, so I think I did 6 or 5 before, so now we're gonna do the rest. So 8. This kanji is composed of 1 radical. Can you see where the radicals fit in the kanji? Fins. So this is different from enter. Enter has them connected, this one has them separated. This isn't exactly the same as the fins radical, but it's close. Sometimes this will happen where we have to use a slightly modified radical version of the original, so it's good to understand that now, early on. In this case, we have fins. How many fins? 8 fins. How do you know that? Because you've caught 4 fish with 2 fins each. Count the fins out in front of you, all the way from 1 to 8. It will help if you actually do this. Alright. Ichi, ni, san, yon, go, roku, nana, hachi. Well, hachi is 8. They might have a different reading for it though. Now smell each fin and think, wow, I have to smell all 8 of these? Yes, you do. I don't like fishing. I wouldn't do that. I like fishing in video games. I don't like fishing in real life though. Readings. Hachi. Yep. After you count and smell all 8 of your fins, it's time to put them away. You open a large hatch. Hachi. Hatch. And put them in. This is where you keep your fins, always putting in 8 at a time because that's what the boss wants. Who's my boss? Why am I catching these fish? You've asked him why you can only put 8 fins at a time in the hatch, but he never wants to answer. What could be down in the hole that the hatch covers? Why is there a hatch at all? What's with numbers and hatches being mysterious? And then you can add some reading notes. So it's hachi, and it means 8. Here is a glimpse of some of the vocabulary. So this, hachi, 8 things, yatsu. So that su, the small one, is a glottal stop, I think. So it's 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 ya, stop, kind of, and then tsu, but you emphasize the tsu. So it's ya, tsu, something like that. I have to listen to the pronunciation. 8 books. 8 books, that's such a weird... Why do you specifically need 8 books? Okay, hachitsu. Hachitsu. But it's not hachisu, it's hachitsu. I think. I don't know. This kanji is composed of one radical. Can you see the radicals fit? Power, power. Other meanings. Strength and ability. Meaning mnemonic. The radical and the meaning of the kanji are the same, both are power. If you know the radical, you should be feeling fine, but you should feel powerful. Meaning nodes and synonyms. So this means power, the radical means power. Readings, onyomi. So this is Ryoku. Riki. Riki. Roku. So it's Roku? Okay. Who has the most power of anyone? It's the Power Rangers. They're battling their arch enemy Ricky. So if I don't remember this one, I can remember Ricky. Battling their arch enemy Ricky, they defeat him and lock him up so that he can't hurt anyone ever again. In Japanese, they don't have a sound, or rather, it just doesn't exist in the language. A sound for the letter L. So you will find that a lot of L sounds, so even using me as an example, my last name is Lios. In Japanese, that would be pronounced Ryosu. So it would be Sorayne Lios or Rios, something like that. You might not emphasize the su at the end. It would be more like des, mas, even though it's masu, it's mas. So for lock, it wouldn't be loku, it would be roku. So this is the re character, re hiragana. So that would be roku, or rock, rather than lock. And lock him up so that he can't hurt anyone ever again. Know anyone named Ricky, even a famous person like Ricky Ricardo, Ricky Gervais? Imagine that person's face on the monster the Power Rangers are fighting. Now imagine the Power Rangers locking them up. He looks much less scary once he's locked up. Phew. I don't know these people, so I think that guy's a comedian? I don't know. I don't know people, man. I follow VTubers. Power. Chikari. I think. Wait, is that chikari or chikara? Chikara. Tai ryoku. Tai ryoku. Tai ryoku. Tai ryoku. Ryoku. And then Zenryoku. Zenryoku. I'm butchering these fucking pronunciations. So Riki and Hachi. Yep. 3. This is composed of 2 radicals, ground and 2. This kanji is made up of the ground radical, which also happens to be the kanji for 1, and the radical for 2. Combine 1 and 2 together and what do you get? 3. This one should be pretty self-explanatory. Even easier, you can look at this kanji and see that it has 3 straight lines. You know what 1 looks like, you know what 2 looks like, so this is 3. San. Onyomi. 3 is the number of chances you get with Santa-san. He has a list, and when you get to 3 naughty things lines, that's it, you're on Santa's 3 strikes and you're out list. Picture Santa-san sitting at his desk at the North Pole eating cookies and marking 1, 2, and then finally 3 lines next to the names. Once the 3rd line appears, the kid doesn't get presents anymore. No, Santa just doesn't like poor kids. Okay, that's a bit mean, but I mean, it's true, so. I don't think your naughty or niceness should be based on your parents' socioeconomic status, but you know, that is kind of how it is, unfortunately, for Christmas, so. Even if kids deserve the best, that doesn't necessarily mean that their parents can afford it. But then again, they can't buy their kids' affection with toys either. Otherwise, their kids will turn out messed up and very materialistic and potentially narcissistic as well. Maybe not. I don't know anything about raising kids, don't ask me. Okay, San, Mitsu, Sannin. Yeah, Sannin. That's easy. That's just 3 people. So this is San. Mouth. This kanji is composed of 1 radical, mouth, mouth. The mouth radical and the mouth kanji are exactly the same. If you learned your radicals, which the WaniKani system forces you to do unless you're cheating, you'll already know the meaning of the kanji. So, readings. Ko or ku. Do you remember seeing the construction worker? Construction worker. Koichi? 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 Earlier in the construction mnemonic, if you haven't yet, not to worry. The kanji with ko. Wait, what is it again? It's a, I, U, E, O, ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, ko. So this is an extension of that. So it's not ko, it's not like ko, u, it's ko, I think, I don't know for sure. For kanji with, there are a lot of them, we'll use this Koichi. He's one of the people who started this website, so we'll do our best in our mnemonics to embarrass him as much as possible. Anyway, remember that whenever you see ko, think Koichi. Everyone agrees, Koichi's mouth is his best feature. You stare at it lovingly as he whispers sweet kanji readings to you. You just can't forget all the cool things about kanji learning. He said from that mouth, what a great mouth Koichi has. How are the lips of his mouth both so skinny and fat at the same time? That's really weird to remember, but okay. So basically, it's just ko or ku is the readings for this one. Kuchi. Okay. I, iriguchi and deguchi. Deguchi and big. Big. Other meanings, large. Meaning mnemonic. The big radical and the big kanji are exactly the same. So if you know the radical, you know the meaning of this kanji as well. Tie. Tie-dye. Tie. Okay. There's this big guy. That's how you remember the radical, remember? And he's wearing a huge tie-dye shirt. So tie-dye. Because he's so huge, the tie-dye shirt is also super huge. Everything about him is pretty big, but the tie-dye stands out more than anything. When you look at the big guy in your head, imagine him covered in tie-dye head to toe. Think about how ridiculous it looks on him, especially since he's such a big guy. Shirt, sweatpants, hat, shoes, it goes on and on. I mean, that's just your average like festival goer, isn't it? Like a lot of people wear tie-dye. I don't think that's anything to shame them for. Here is a glimpse of some of the vocabulary you'll be learning in the future that utilize the kanji. I mean, okai, okichi. I think that's o, like the beginning character there. Taishita. Taishita. Woman. This kanji is composed of one radical. Can you see where the radicals fit in the kanji? The radical for woman and the kanji for woman are exactly the same. That means if you know your radicals well, you'll know the meaning of this kanji as well. How swell. When you think of woman, think of Joanne, though she usually goes by just Jo. Whenever the reading Jo comes out, we'll use the character Joanne. She's quite a short woman, which is to help us differentiate Jo from Jo, who is the giant oafish farmhand Jo. Jo is a small lady, Jo is a giant man. So Joanne, Jo. Nyo, so Jo, and then Nyo, and then Nyo, New? Is that the same as the pronunciation of like the new TV thing? Of enter? Oh wait, it's new. No, it's not. Never mind. Wait, well, yeah, okay. On nanoko. Onanoko. Joshi. Joshi? Onna. That one's the one I'm familiar with. This one I'm not familiar with. Jo. Okay. Joanne. Alright. The meaning. Meaning. Okay. It's big. It's Thai. Okay. This one is... Oh, it's 8. It's Hachi. And then this one is Jo. It's Jo. Reading. Yep. And then reading. San. Oh. Do I have to? Sa. And then. San. Yep. And then the kanji meaning is woman. Kanji meaning is big. Kanji reading. Power. So it's Rikki. That's how I'm gonna remember it. So it's either lock, roku, or riki. So riki. Yeah, and then the other ones. Okay. Ryoku. Roku. Kanji reading. Mouth. Ko. It's Koichi. Right? Yes. Koichi. And his mouth is fabulous or something. Good job. The items you have just finished quizzing on have been moved to your review queue, and you've completed all your lessons. So I've done my lessons, I've done my reviews. That's pretty much it for today in terms of WaniKani. And now we'll be moving on to Bunpro, or Bunpro. I don't know how to pronounce it, I apologize. So, yeah, this is the free version. You get like set lessons, and I don't think you can move forward until you've finished all the lessons that you currently have. And there's also like progression system, so you can see that's everything that you've learned. And also if you get anything wrong, there's a recent mistakes-ish like section as well. Extra study lets you practice outside of your regular reviews. It won't count towards regular reviews, but it will help get your memory stronger. But I don't think you can move forward until you've done like this stuff. So right now it's letting you do all the highlighted bits, but then these grey bits, like you actually have to sit and learn properly. New unlocks, apprentice, guru, master, burnt? I don't know what burnt means. It might be like you don't have to learn it anymore or something like that. So yeah, there are the different levels and stuff like that. I think if you pay for the premium version, you can jump around a little bit more. And obviously you can still access the material even if it's locked. Like you can still see it and like click on it and stuff like that. But I don't think it comes up in reviews is the main thing. But you can still see it. So you can see here, this is circle. And the radical combinations for it, meaning what's something with 9 sides, the mnemonics and stuff like that are all here too. So that's WaniKani. I might do another one on this at some point, maybe later on. I also have to go back to Japanese from zero and finish the free lessons from that as well. So I guess those are the 3 resources that I'll be focusing on: WaniKani, Bunpro, and Japanese from zero. And just going through those. I've been doing this stuff in obviously my private time and not on stream. But yeah, this is just a recommendation for learning kanji. There are others out there. I might be doing some reviews or something like that at a later stage of actually going through some pros and cons, how I use them, if I don't use them, if I recommend it or not. All of my reviews would be highly subjective because obviously it's my experience. So I can talk about the pros and cons, pricing, stuff like that, if it's worth it or not. There's a lot of stuff. I know that Native Shark is another one that's like an all-in-one package, but it's considered quite expensive for what it is. That might be another one that I try. There's just so many resources out there to like just have a go at, and you really just gotta find one and stick to it that can help you with vocab, grammar, kanji, a little bit of everything, and maybe a textbook to like bring it all together to actually be able to use the language. Anyway, that's enough of me yapping. Let's get on to Bunpro. Right, so this is my page for Bunpro. Again, same login. I've got the free trial version until maybe a month or so it would expire at some point in January probably. 100%. But you can also kind of cheat in this one though, because you can actually undo your answers. So you can get it completely wrong and then undo it and then try again. So I'm not sure if that's quite the same, but so WaniKani and Bunpro also both have their lifetime sales ending soon. So if it is a resource that you think you're going to like want to stick with, just speaking frankly, I'm probably going to get the lifetime subscriptions for both of them soon, like before it expires in January, just because they've been working for me so far, so I'm probably going to do that at some point. But right now, looks like you'll keep doing the grammar lifetime. So Bunpro is more so for grammar and maybe vocabulary, more so than kanji. Could I say it's more comprehensive? Yes, in some ways. Like, this is a great system. Also, WaniKani doesn't have a dedicated app that you can use. They've got third-party apps that you have to connect to WaniKani. I think they've also got an Anki extension or something like that as well. But this Bunpro actually does have a dedicated app that you can download and use on Android and iOS, I'm pretty sure. I've got the download for Android because I use an Android. I have a Google Pixel. So yeah, so I've got the app for this, but also it just looks better on computer anyway. I've only been doing it for a couple of days, but I've been learning a lot so far. Something I appreciate about both of them is that they don't use Romaji, so they force you to use your hiragana and katakana knowledge. I would say that before using any resource at all, it would be good to learn hiragana and katakana, at least to the point where you can kind of understand it. You don't have to be an expert, but you should at least be able to read basic, like, if you can see hiragana and be able to read it out, even the same way that I do it, that would be a good start. Because even if you don't know what the word means, at least you can read it. That's just a recommendation though. Also, Bunpro, when you first start up, it actually does have kana lessons for you. And later on in the stream, it's actually been going on quite a while now, later on in the stream I'll be showing you how to, you can download their sheets from Bunpro. If you do an account and do the kana lessons, they've actually got like sheets that you can download to actually write the kana, so you can practice writing, and I'll show you that as well. But for now, let's go on to learn. So I've done this for a couple of days now, so I've done some basic like study greetings and stuff like that. So like ohayo gozaimasu, konbanwa, konnichiwa, that kind of thing. Oh, by the way, actually, sorry, before I get into lessons, you can also set your learning. So I don't know how to do it. I think that doesn't take me. Yeah. When I first began, it asked me if I was using a textbook of any kind, and because if you have a textbook, so right now I actually do have Genki. So I've got Genki and Tobira, I think. Yeah. So just using Genki as an example, it can actually follow the chapters of the thing that you're studying. So for the main, I guess, more popular textbooks, you can follow along with their chapters. So you can see here, it's got Genki 2nd edition, 3rd edition, Tobira, Tai Kim's Japanese Grammar Guide. This is Mina no Nihongo, Integrated Approach, Marugoto, which is the trippy circular one. That's how I remember this one. And Quartet 1 and 2. And I've never heard of this one before, actually. But these are the main textbooks that you can actually follow along with. And I've chosen Genki just because that's the one that I currently have. And so a lot of the review and the learning from here actually follows the chapters of the Genki book. So in the start, it does like greetings and stuff like that. Hajimemashite. So is there a way that I can hear it as well? Or is it just gonna blast for you guys again? Monitor and output for internet. So can I actually hear it? And I don't want to blast my ears either, so I'm gonna do it here. You guys can't see it, but I'm changing the options in OBS.
Tanaka desu. Hajimemashite. Tanaka desu. Hajimemashite.
See, that sucks, because why can't I hear it? But I also don't want to make it too loud. Hmm?
田中です。はじめまして。田中です。はじめまして。
Hmm.
はじめまして。よろしくお願いします。はじめまして。よろしくお願いします。
Okay, I can hear it now. Awesome. So basically what I had to do was, if you go into OBS, if you guys are streamers or creators yourself, you should know this already. I'm dumb, and I've only started streaming like a couple weeks ago. But there's a section, there's a like cog thing, and if you do monitor and output, that means that you guys can hear it and I can hear it. Monitor being that I think it comes back into your audio. So now I can hear it as well.
はじめまして。よろしくお願いします。
There's a weird kind of echo though. I hope there's nothing wrong. Oh well. So yeah, basically, this is Bunpro. How do you do? I'm glad to meet you. So, hajimemashite. And then you can play the different like sound files to actually hear what they're saying.
初めて会った人には、はじめましてと言いましょ
I don't know if that's too loud or not. Of course, arguably I could say that I'm too loud. It's very hard because I can't see how loud it is. Self-study sentences. So you can see here, these are N5 expressions. So for JLPT, that is the whatever, national, international, it's the Japanese proficiency test. Japanese proficiency language test, I think. JPLT. Yeah, actually that makes more sense. JPLT. It's split up into several sections, so you can, depending on how knowledgeable you are in Japanese, you can get tested at N5 level, N4, N3, N2, up until N1, and I think it's N1 and that's it. Even at N1 level, you're not necessarily fluent, but you know, you can work in Japan, you'll be able to do most conversations and stuff like that. So, maybe not fluent, but like highly skilled and conversational, maybe, is a good way of putting it. It also depends on how much like time and effort you put into it as well. I saw that video of some guy who made N1 in like 2 years, and I don't really think that's possible if you're not truly immersing yourself in the language. Like, I don't think language should be a sprint. It's a marathon. It's something you learn a little bit every single day. Get immersed, look at like vocab and stuff like that. Try to use it in everyday life, although it can be difficult. For me, it's extra difficult because there's no one who is Japanese in my day-to-day life. Like I live in the western part of the sky. It's very much like very English oriented here. So I have to go out of my way to find Japanese immersion, and even like doing learning like this. But you know, it's an effort. You just do it where you can, in whatever resources you have. Yeah, so.
先生。皆さんはじめまして。今日からこのクラスを担当する山田です。
Why did I say that? Oh yeah, right. That was a tangent because I saw N5 expressions and I'm like this as a person, so you just have to deal with it. Also, it tells you all the examples down here as well. The N5 for it. So, you can see N5, these sentences or these audio samples are considered N5 level, and then N4, N3, N2. I think more difficult stuff could be probably considered N1, but for now we're only looking at N5 stuff anyway, so it's fine. And also pitch accent. Pitch accent isn't something that's probably super important for beginners. I would say that for beginners, you and me would want to focus on just what the words are, what the characters mean, that kind of thing. So I don't know what this means, but it's hajime. Wait, no, it's haji. Hajime mashite. I think it means first time, but for now you don't have to learn the kanji. You can learn the kanji with WaniKani, or you can learn it later on. You can look up expressions and stuff like that. So you can look up this and then see what this kanji is. So yeah, hajime mashite. How do you do? I'm glad to meet you. And then the examples, you can listen to the examples. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Wait, onegaishimasu. Yep, okay. Please remember me, please help me, please treat me well. I look forward to working with you. So, hajime mashite, yoroshiku onegaishimasu is a common expression used in formal settings where you're like introducing yourself for the first time. So, example that they use in textbooks a lot is like when you're the new transfer student and you might say this in front of the class or in front of the sensei, of just like, hajime mashite, watashi wa Sorayne Lios desu. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Something like that. I might have completely butchered that.
Sakiko desu. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
Sakiko desu. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Yeah. Sorayne desu. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Please remember me, please help me. Please. Yep. So again, this character, don't know what it is, don't know what it means, but the reading is negai, nega. So it's yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Onegai means please, I think. Post-secondary education institution, including university or college, etc. Daigaku. So daigaku, this is the character for big. And I don't know what that is. But it's daigaku. So it's, if you remember from WaniKani, this character could be read as Tai or Dai. So it's daigaku. So it's fun to see that one can help you with the other and vice versa as well. This one is probably more so for phrases rather than specific kanji. It seems like it's phrases and grammar, whereas WaniKani is kanji. But I can read that kanji now, so that's pretty cool.
ここは何という大学ですか？
ここはなんという大学ですか？
ここは何という大学ですか？
なんという大学ですか？
今から大学に行きます。
今
から大学に行きます。
It's kara. I keep forgetting ri and ra. That's one of my weak points. 今から大学に行きます。行きます is to go. 行き Yeah.
今から大学に行きます。
Yeah, okay. 大学生 is college student. So 学校生 is high school student. So sei is like student. Koko
高校へ行く。
高校へ行く。高校へ行く。
高校へ行く。父は高校で働いています。
高校。Okay, so it's 大学 and 高校. Student, especially a university student. 学生。
弟は学生です。
弟は学生です。弟。I think弟 is little brother. So my brother is a student. 弟. I think it's if it's your older brother, it's Ni-san. And then it's Oni-san if it's your sister, and it's Imoto if it's your little sister. So my brother is a student. 弟学生です。
弟は学生です。
弟は学生です。
学生。
学生. Yep. Complete a quiz on the items. So this is based on Genki 3rd edition. Whatever textbooks that you have, you can follow along. Even if you don't have the textbook and you just want like a chapter by chapter thing, you can just pick any of them really, as long as it's progressive. Actually, all textbooks would be progressive, so that's a dumb thing to say. Yeah, just pick a textbook, just follow along. I personally really like Genki. However, I know that it's very based on like classroom stuff. So one of the big things that I've heard about, and this is just a legitimate criticism of both Genki and Mina no Nihongo, which are arguably probably the two most used textbooks in learning Japanese, is the fact that they're very classroom based. Like there are activities in both of them which require you to have like a partner or be in a classroom setting where you have to ask someone like, hey, how would you do this? Or how would you do that? So you ask them a question, they answer, they ask you a question and you answer, kind of thing, which is absolutely fine if you're working in a classroom. But then if you're self-studying or you don't have anyone to help you, then it can be quite difficult. I'm lucky in the sense that I have a Japanese study group, and even then it's not really a study group, it's just me and my friends. My friends just happen to be like N4 or something like that. So none of us are native Japanese speakers, but they just happen to have learnt Japanese in a formal setting in high school and university, whereas I am starting from zero. And so we're able to ask each other questions and stuff like that. However, I know that a lot of people aren't able to do that. The other resource that I have, which is a little bit underrated, is actually Tobira. But Tobira, the beginner book, the beginner textbook, and the workbooks that come with it, because I heard, I've got the books actually, I just haven't been able to get into them quite yet. I plan to do that probably soon, maybe next year, on actually opening the books and starting to take notes and stuff like that. It's just been busy with the holiday season. However, I've heard that it is more catered towards self-study, as in like true self-study where you don't actually need anyone else. I have to actually like open the book properly to see. But that's a good start, I reckon, and I'll probably give my proper review, thoughts, whatever, once I actually get into the book and start like reviewing the chapters and things like that, and see how it works for me, if it doesn't work for me, that kind of thing. Those are the two main resources I would say that I have, and then WaniKani and Bunpro would be like website login kind of resources. I'm Tanaka, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Hajime mashite. Yeah. Tanaka-san desu. Hajime mashite. Is this nice to meet you? Or Sakiko desu. Nice to meet you. Or Hajime. How would we say this in a more business or formal situation? Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Wait. Onegai shimasu. Yeah, there we go. So it also gives you hints, as you can see. So you can say hajimemashite or yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Both kind of mean not the same thing, but similar things. And you can see that I tried to use hajimemashite for both cases, but then it tells you, like it gives you a hint that like you're on the right track, but this is a more formal setting. So you use yoroshiku onegai shimasu. I will go to the university now. University is daigaku. It's daigaku. Yes. 今から大学に行きます。So 今 is now. Kara, I don't know. 大学 is university. Ni, going to, but towards a location. 行きます is to go, I think. Take everything I say with a grain of salt, by the way. Like, I'm dumb as hell. That's why I'm trying to learn. So I could be wrong in some of my readings. I will go to high school. Koko. Yeah. Koko heiku. Koko heiku? I think.
高校へ行く。
高校へ行く. My brother is a student. 弟は学生。弟は学生です。
弟は学生です。
弟は学生です。Hooray! Finish! This lesson and then review. As you look at the delicious food, it looks so delicious. Thank you for the food. So you haven't eaten yet. Itadakimasu. Yes. So, thank you for the food. You say itadakimasu before eating and gochisousama after eating. I cleaned the toilet. Thank you. Arigato. To a pregnant person, excuse me, you should sit. Sumimasen. Yeah, this is stupid because whenever you type it, it doesn't register the N as an N character, so you just have like sumimasen. Excuse me, you should sit. But then it changes it anyway, so it's fine as long as you type out the Romaji properly. It's just a probably like it's a small thing. Also, if you type if you change your hotkey settings, or if you change your language settings in your browser or your like computer to actually be able to type Japanese properly, you could probably just do it that way. Anyway, it's a very, very, very small nitpick. Like, it still registers that you've written it correctly, so it's fine. I put my hands together and say, thank you for the meal. Thank you for the meal. Yeah. Gochis. See, I have no idea what these kanjis mean, but they let you type in the hiragana characters. So it's gochisousama.
手を合わせてごちそうさまでしたという。
Te is hand, or don't know the rest of it. Son to father, I'll be careful, I'm leaving. I'm actually very poor at the I'm leaving, whatever, the greetings, but it's not greetings, it's like when you're leaving and when you're coming back. I'm very, very bad at that, even though it's like one of the beginning chapters of Genki. Because I don't do that. Like, when I leave, I just say bye. I guess there's the differences and nuances between English and Japanese, because if I'm leaving, I'm just like, I just say bye, you know? And then when I come back, like, hello? You just shout through the house, like, hello? Obviously, it's different for each family, but I don't really go out of my way to announce that I'm leaving unless I have to, or unless there's other people in the house that need to know. Anyway, it's like in English how we use the word love for a lot of things. Like, just the word, right? I love pasta, I love pizza, I love dogs. But then it's also I love you, like you love a person. And in Japanese, obviously, there's different levels of it, where it's like ski, daisuki, aishiteru, you know, which all mean love, but like to different levels, to different extents, to different like things. So I'm wondering if this is another nuance of that, which is confusing to me because I am just dumb and I'm just like, okay, bye. Okay, I'll see you later. I'll be back in like an hour, I guess. So son to father, I'll be careful, I'm leaving. Itekimasu. Iterashai. I only learnt that through force, like, doing it a lot. I got this wrong a lot in, when I was practicing it in Genki. Itekimasu. Glottal stop. Tekimasu. Yep. Itekimasu. Welcome home, as usual. Thank you for your hard work today. Welcome home. Okaeri. Okaeri. Okaeri nasai. Okaeri nasai. Kaeru is to come home, I think, or return home. See you later. Huh? See you? Sayonara. What do you mean? Goodbye? Let's try a different word here. Hope you have a nice day. I'm actually stuck on this one because I don't know what they mean. Ja mata ne. See you? What do you mean, see you? I can't read that. What? Huh? I don't want to cheat though. I'll see you later. But it's not sayonara. What is it? Okay, konnichiwa is hello. Ohayo or ohayo gozaimasu is good morning. Konbanwa is good evening. I'll see you later. In my head, that's just ja mata ne. But I haven't learnt that here yet. Fuck me. Can I just get it wrong? Oh, I don't want to do that. Quiz settings, open up styling. Can I just not do it? Toggle the hint level. Oh, a phrase used when someone is leaving but they'll be welcome back later. Oh! Okay. So, Itekimasu. Iterashai. Itekimasu. Iterashai. Okay, well, I got it wrong anyway.
いってらっしゃい。楽しい一日を。
Wait, what? I got it. Wait. Iterashai. Did I get it wrong? Wait, how are you meant to spell that? Okay, sorry, I know this is cheating, but I think I got it right. Itera. Shy? Wait. Itera. Shy. I'll see you later. I hope you have a nice day. What the hell? Am I missing something? Oh. Wait. Itera. Does it have a bunch of itera? Oh. Okay. I'm just silly. See, I told you guys, I'm really shit at this. Also, technically I got it wrong, but then I remembered, and then I got it right. I should probably tag that one as wrong somehow. The time now. Ima. What? Huh? I don't remember learning this. Is there a formal way to say this? I haven't learned this one yet. Ima? Ima what? Oh. An expression said upon arriving home, only said by the person who arrives. The time now. What? That's stupid. Tadaima. Why would they say it like that? Do you like bugs? No. Here's your salary for the month. Thank you very much. As if it's not a legal obligation to give it to me. Arigatou gozaimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Technically, I got one wrong. I still think that this sentence was stupid. Well, the example that they gave, I could only get it because of a hint. I know that I'm silly as a person, but they shouldn't use the time now as an expression for like, oh yes, I'm coming back home. It should have more context. But then again, maybe I'm just dumb, so I don't know. Anyway, I got all that. And yeah, so this is the learn and review. You can look forward, you can look ahead if you want to and try to cram. So there's like all of these kind of things. So chapter 0, chapter 1, and this is based on Genki chapters, by the way. So it's going to be a little bit different in other chapters and stuff. Trip to Okinawa. Tabemono. Nomimono. And Yasumi. Oh, this is the chapter where I'm up to with my friends and going through Genki and stuff. But we've only gone through the textbook. We haven't gone through the workbook or anything. We've just been going through the textbook and doing the examples and stuff together. So eiga, sports, deito, terebi, ice cream, hamburger, stuff like that. So yes, you can look ahead and you can learn new stuff. You can use different textbooks. You can use these different decks and stuff as well. Custom, Kansai, Pokemon Adventures, that's nice. You can do vocab. Like, there are all kinds of things that you can do in terms of like learning and stuff. So you can explore different decks and content. So you can do all of them. Use the Bunpro path to learn grammar. So lesson 4.1. Things that are crucial to make a natural, interesting sentence. So I'm not going to add it to reviews, but this is just an example of how you can use this website. So I'm obviously N5, so like a complete beginner, and then lessons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can go through it. And so da, to be, is. Da cannot be used with e adjectives. So structure, details, for the most part, da is the equivalent of is in English. Its role is to strongly express determination or assertion. It is a casual grammar structure, which means that you won't see it in polite sentences. Technically, da is an auxiliary verb, a group of words that attach themselves to other words to give them meaning. Desu, or des, has the same role as da, but des is the one that will be used in polite sentences and also one of the first Japanese grammar patterns many people are exposed to. Da will always follow nouns or words that behave like nouns, such as na adjectives. Ice cream da. Or I can't read that. Otera. Otera da. I'm just blind, don't mind me. Kikenda. Taisetsu. Taisetsu da. Da should never be attached to the end of e adjectives. In these cases, it is considered more correct to attach a polite equivalent like des. Sorry. Or oki, okira, okides. While da is often thought of as the casual form of des, that is actually not entirely true. Des is a polite speech word. The official formal version of da is de aru. We will learn this grammar point a bit later. De aru can often be seen in articles and formal writing, while des is more common in polite speech. Synonyms: des, degoki. Wait, no. Degozaimasu. Honda.
私だ
猫だ。 Nice. Des. To be is. Unlike da, des is often used with both e adjectives and na adjectives. So I won't go through all of these. I might go through them by myself at some point later. But you can see. So it's just content, lessons. So paths, you can do it in textbook order. To reach where I did just then, it's content and then lessons and then N5 and then the lessons 1 through 10. Otherwise you can do paths. And then the paths just follow the official like textbooks and stuff like that. So whatever you're using as a textbook, you can follow that. Even if you're not using a textbook, you can use the lessons here, I guess. Practice, you can do kana practice. So this is the next section of what we're going to be doing. I've already done all these, so that's fine. But basically, the first time you log into Bunpro, and you don't have to use Bunpro, by the way, you can use any website or any, even Japanese Pod, I think, which is a free YouTube like channel and stuff like that. They've got a video on hiragana and katakana, like separate videos on how to write it, what it should sound like, and the teacher, Risa Sensei, is like a native Japanese speaker, so she tells you how to write it, how to pronounce it and stuff like that, and gives you like a small story on how to remember it. And here you can see that Bunpro gives you like hiragana charts. I'm pretty sure like most Japanese learning websites, I'm pretty sure Japanese from Zero had one as well, like just like a hiragana learning chart, or like this is what hiragana is kind of thing. Also you can do it from, so I played it recently, so I played Learn Japanese to Survive. So there's one for hiragana and one for katakana. That's also an effective way of learning as well, just because it's more gamified, a little bit more fun, but it is like you have to pay for it kind of thing, whereas these resources are free. Choose whichever resources work for you. Like if you like playing video games and it sticks to you a little bit better that way. I like video games myself, because, you know, you actually get to do the thing, if that makes sense. Like you actually get into the game world and actually like fight these monsters and stuff like that, and it makes sense. You know, there's a little bit more stakes for lack of a better word, whereas like if you're reading it, then you're able to ignore it. Not that I do. I did learn it properly and stuff like that, but it's just an option. It is expensive though. Actually, is it that expensive? I don't think it's that expensive, but you have to pay for it. Otherwise, just use the free resources that you have online in order to do it. Now, that's enough of me yapping. Let's actually start writing some stuff. Let me just get this off. So I'll shut this. Now for this, I'm wondering how I actually do this, because I have to be able to write it, right? Yes. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, this is oh. Oh, like oh no. Made with love from Osaka. That's cute. So this is ka, as in car. So you start with this one, which is a bit strange. I would have started with the big stroke, but yep, so it's the curve bit. I think I need to make it less pointy. If it's too pointy, it looks like come on. It looks like a katakana rather than hiragana. Cool, so this is key. So this is 1, 2, and then 3. For those of you who are interested, the app, or I guess the application that I'm using, is called Drawboard PDF. The reason I use Drawboard and not Adobe is because Adobe is expensive and you need a subscription for that. This is free. This is the free version. Like, this isn't even upgraded or anything like that. And then ku as in cool, ku. K as in okay. Ko as in cold. So this is sa as in the word sardine. Like the word she. I'll probably keep doing this until around 20 minutes or so, because I'm sure this is boring for you guys too. I'm also just showing you that you can like just grab a spreadsheet or like a template thing to learn how to write. I personally find it quite effective because I'm actually a big like rote learner kind of person. So can I? Oh, okay. So I tend to write things down quite a bit, and even if I don't look back at the notes of what I've written down, that's horrible. I tend to remember things better. Okay. So that's su as in su, and this is se as in send. Like so as in sold. Sold. Oh. Ta as in ta-da. That's good for the Duck 10 version as well. That's chi, as in cheese. And this is itsu. Wait. Tsu, as in itsu. Itsu. So it's not itsu, it's tsu. Oh, that's confusing to say. Never mind. Like te, as in tent. Like the word toe. That's not so great. Okay, na as in the nana, banana. Wait, what is it? So it's this one, and then this one. Oh, and then the flick at the end, and then... Huh? Oh, I feel like this is a misprint. I think it's meant to be the long stroke first, and then this one, and then this one. I'll probably call it after this set. So what is this? This is canoe? New like in canoe. This is ne. One. And this is horrible. Ne is like in nest. No, like in no. This one's easy. It's just round, like a snail, like an escargot. Alright. Yeah, I'm not gonna do all of them on stream. I reckon that would be pretty boring. But basically this is a good resource if you wanted to like learn how to write and stuff like that. So the application is called Drawboard. So it can read PDFs, you can write on them, you can mark them up, that kind of thing. You just need a free account and you can download the app and then... Oh, sorry. Download the app, but the app is like on computer. So you can actually download it and open PDFs on computer and stuff like that. You just need a login. And then, yeah, you can do this. These spreadsheets. I keep saying spreadsheets. These templates are from Bunpro. So if you make a Bunpro account and log in for the first time, it asks if you've done Kana before. If you say no, it goes through the Kana with you. You also have the option to skip it if you want, but these resources are from that. Anyway, that's pretty much it from me. I'll see you guys next time tomorrow for another stream. It'll be a quick one tomorrow because I'll be going to volleyball straight afterwards. And tomorrow I'll be doing, I think, Lonesome Village, which is a new game that I haven't seen before. It's apparently like very wholesome vibes, no violence, no combat, nothing like that. It's all exploration and puzzles, and you're like a cute little fox boy. So that'll be good to play. But yeah, did a lot of Japanese studying today, so I hope you guys have learnt a lot. And I'll see you next time. See ya!